it going? It's Ultimus, and today we are going to be talking about Sheilun, Staff of the Mists. This original artifact weapon for Mistweavers probably has some of the coolest lore behind it, at least. Basically, this staff is the staff that the Emperor, if I'm not mistaken, the last Emperor, I almost said first, I knew that wasn't right. The last Emperor used to cloak Pandaria in the mist that we were, that was preventing us from seeing it all those years until it magically appeared all those years later. So, kind of cool. And I think out of all of the staves, this one might be one of my favorite looking staves, that's for sure. Just looking at just that standard skin there on it. Just that red and green there. I just like the way that looks. I think that's pretty dope. Of course, all the different color schemes and all that. I don't want to spend too much time looking at it, though, simply because we're here to talk about the talents. Thor, please. Thor. Really, you pick now to play with your toys? Let's take a look at the equip effect. First, it says, when you heal allies, Sheilun has a chance to draw in nearby mist, increasing your healing over time effect by 20% for 10 seconds. When this effect ends, Sheilun will release a wave of mist that heals all allies within 15 yards for 200% of your spell power. The effect alone itself sounds rather complicated in the sense, like, compared to some of the other equip effects that we've seen so far. But basically, whenever you cast a heal or you heal your allies, it has a chance to draw in nearby mist. Again, I'm always curious what the visual is going to look like on that. And while that's there, it's going to increase your healing over time effects by 20%, which for 10 seconds is what it's going to last. When that 10 seconds is up, it releases a wave of mist that heals all allies within 15 yards. So it's going to be the buff to your hots, and then once it dissipates, it's going to burst out and then heal everybody within 15 yards for 200% of your spell power. So that's kind of cool. So, I mean, just being able to time that 10-second window right there is kind of cool. I wonder if the healing is going to be, like, reduced or spread out evenly amongst all allies. It doesn't say it is, so I'd be curious about that, but it sounds kind of cool. And then Sheilun's gift here, the first talent in our tree, almost sounds familiar, so I'm not sure what's up with that, but it states you draw from the mists within Sheilun and heal a friendly target for X health. Well, it says 1, obviously, but we don't know how big that number is actually going to be. I would imagine there are different skills. If that's the case, it's kind of an underwhelming initial talent, I think, but at least it's an active skill, so you're getting more opportunities to heal, which is kind of cool. So there's that. Shroud of Mist reduces damage taken by 3%, 6%, 10%. Kind of cool that one's like right there, right after you get your initial talent, you can go right into damage reduction, which is kind of cool for a healer. Mistweaver monks are definitely going to be, or at least have the opportunity to be, a lot more mobile. I say that having looked over their talent trees and their abilities a little bit before this video, simply because I have no clue how Mistweavers work. I've never played one. I've never really cared to. It just never really appealed to me. Out of all the healing classes, the only ones that have really ever caught my attention and said I should try that would be Holy Paladins, Discipline Priests, and Resto Shamans. Every once in a while I think about a Resto Druid, but for the most part I pretty much just stick to Holy Paladins. So it's kind of cool that you're getting the damage reduction effect there right off the bat to go hand in hand with all of your mobility, which of course is going to be good in PvP. Less damage is always a good thing. Spirit Tether. Enemies within 8 yards of your Transcendent Spirit have their movement speed reduced by 30%, 50%. Holy crap. Wow. And Transcendent Spirit is the one you drop and then you teleport to. That's interesting. So, I mean, I know a lot of people will try to camp the Spirit if they get a feeling you're going to it, so that almost is like a deterrence that are trying to discourage that. Like, hey, you can go camp where my body's going to teleport to, but you're not going to be able to move as quick. That's interesting. Interesting mechanic. Like, I feel like out of all the things that I might have expected to see in the talent tree here, or this tree, I definitely would not have expected that. But that's a cool concept. I'm curious to see what that's going to look like, or how that's actually going to work, or I suppose even better, how effective that's going to be. Way of the Mistweaver increases the healing from enveloping mist by 3%, 6%, 10%. Protection of Xiao, increased absorption amount of life cocoon by, oh wow, 10%. Wow, 50% is not a small amount either when you consider life cocoon already has a massive absorb rate on it. Xiao's Mist of Wisdom. Casting Renewing Mist or Enveloping Mist has a chance to cause your staff to create the Mist of Wisdom that will heal a nearby ally with the powers of the mist every 2 seconds for 10 seconds. Interesting. So your Renewing Mist and Enveloping Mist. I believe those are 2 hots that you get. They have a chance to proc another hot on the target, is the impression I'm getting. Kind of cool. Let's take a look at Extended Healing over here on the left. Increases the duration of Renewing Mist by 2 seconds, 4 seconds, 6 seconds. Increases the healing of Vivify by 3%, 6%, 10%. So as kind of expected, lots of just flat buffs to specific spells or healing in general. And then Blessing of Yulon. When you use Revival, the Spirit of Yulon appears and grants all allies healed from Revival an additional 30% of the amount Revival healed for over 6 seconds. Okay, so when you use Revival, the Spirit of Yulon appears and grants all allies healed by Revival. Isn't Revival the Resurrection spell, though? Let me check that out, actually. Huh, guess not. So looking here at Revival, it is a spell you get at level 65 that states for 4.374% of base mana, heals all party members and raid members within 40 yards for 895% of spell power, and clears them all of harmful magic, poison, and disease effects with a 3-minute cooldown. Holy cow. How did I miss that? That's kind of crazy. Dang, so on top of that, that's basically going to buff or give an additional 30% of the amount healed over 6 seconds. So it's going to do the initial heal plus then a heal over 6 seconds. That's intense. Like, again, the notion that I'm getting here is they, like, went down to the basement, unlocked the door to the dude with the crazy ideas for abilities, and they said, "It's your time, son. It's your time. Show us what you got." And then he glared up with a glint in his eye, and he said, "Oh, I'll show you." And he began writing down all these epic abilities for classes to finally feel like they can actually do something really, really cool. And by God, they sound really cool. Like, okay, let's just see how this works out, I guess. Wow. Let's take a look at Soothing Remedies. Increases the healing of Soothing Mist by 3%, 6%, 10%. Okay. Harmony and Focus. Thunder Focus Tea now empowers 1 additional spell. All right. Light on your feet. After fully channeling Font of Essence, you move 30% faster for 3 seconds. Dig that. Oh no, okay, so it's buffing the speed. 30%, 40%, 50% for 3 seconds. I was like, why isn't the time going up? Because the time isn't being buffed. It's the rate at which you're increased. Mist of Life. Life Cocoon now applies Renewing Mist and Enveloping Mist to the target. That's intense. Like, that just sounds really strong, because Life Cocoon already has a Gnarly Absorb on it. And then it's going to apply those hots. I feel like Mistweavers are going to... I hesitate to say this, because I say this a lot, but I feel like Mistweavers are actually going to be really good. Not, like, saying that like it's a bad thing, like they have to be bad, but... some of these, like, effects in here just seem like they're, like, okay. Like, that they're really taking this seriously and trying to get to the heart of... making each class and spec stand out amongst other ones. Coalescing Mists increases the healing of Effuse by 3%, 6%, 10%. Dancing Mist. Renewing Mist has a 10% chance to immediately spread itself to another target whenever it is applied. Okay. And then last but not least, Celestial Breath. When you activate Thunder Focus Tea, you exhale the breath of Yulon, healing all enemies within 12 yards for 5 over 5 seconds. So obviously it's not that good if it's only going to heal for 5. No, but as always, that's more tooltip brokenness there. So we'll have to wait and see what the actual numbers look like as we get closer and into beta and more of the stuff gets released. But let's take a look at this. I want to take a look at Effuse and Thunder Focus Tea. So let's take a look at that real quick. Effuse is a fast and efficient spell healing the target for 200% of attack power. That's interesting. I would have expected it to be spell power. Alright. And then Thunder Focus Tea. Receive a jolt of energy empowering your next spell cast. Renewing Mist doesn't trigger its cooldown. Effuse's healing is increased by 100%. Enveloping Mist is instant. Essence Font may be channeled while moving, and Vivify costs no mana. Wow. So that's Thunder Focus Tea. Okay, so that makes sense now. This one makes a whole lot more sense. So basically with this one now, you're going to get 2 charges on that Thunder Focus Tea. Crazy. So lots of options I feel like now for Mistweavers as far as what they're going to be able to do. especially with the choice of empowering on those spells with the Thunder Focus Tea. I feel like that's going to be a major game changer of learning what to use and when to pop your Thunder Focus Tea. I feel like that's going to be a central cooldown for Mistweaver monks. And then, of course, knowing which spells to pop and when. Obviously, there's going to be certain ones that are better than others. I mean, that's just inevitable with the game. So we'll have to wait and see what all this looks like. But they sound like they're cool. I mean, I always enjoyed playing with Mistweaver monks. I've played with some really bad ones, but I've played with some really good ones too. And I feel like the good Mistweaver monks really stand out. And maybe that's just because people are still figuring them out and trying to master them. I don't know. But the concept is cool, and I think this artifact tree here definitely puts them in a place that might start catching the eyes of some people. So we'll have to wait and see. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. That's going to draw us to a close of this video. If you haven't done so already, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And hit that share button if you are so inclined. Don't forget to follow me on all the different social media platforms that are listed on the page here. You can follow my Instagram, which is given in the banner above. You can find my Facebook page and my Twitter in the description below, where any of these places are great if you want to get in contact with me, ask questions, make video requests, just see how my day is going. Because, hey, sometimes that's fun just to talk about random crap. But I usually respond pretty quickly, and I rather do enjoy hearing from you guys and getting comments from you guys throughout the day. So thank you for those. Looking forward to connecting with you guys and hearing your thoughts on where Blizzard is taking Mistweaver monks. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.